times that we are the most honest with ourselves is when we're in solitude. Because in solitude we find space for improvement, space for advancement. And the appearance in the third dimension is one of the greatest illusions that we face daily. And that's why I realize as times evolve and cycle and change, things will get more complicated. And the more complicated things are, you find that people are the problems, especially the ones that you have to deal with every day. That's why when you have to think outside the box in solitude, you can figure out what you're stepping into, what you're going into. That's why you need to be slow to trust. Trust at a snail's pace. That's what I would always do. Because when you deal with people too fast, you find yourself having to go through too many obstacles. And a lot of times the problems that you think are on television are nowhere near the problems that are right there closer to you than your jugular vein. So yeah, it's always beautiful to step outside yourself. So for me, there is no time. That's why I'm always just passing through. Not too much into dealing with everyone. Because, if someone hasn't figured themselves out, then that's extra baggage on yourself to figure things out for them in yourself. That's why compatibility is so key. So trust at a snail's pace. Because we are in the third dimension evolving. We're still learning. And while we're still in the caterpillar state, it's always going to be a prison or a university. You truly know you have evolved and the world becomes a playground. Because it's easier for you to see everything that's coming. For us to be prepared. Knowing that you shouldn't pick up the snake because it bites. Knowing that you should just play the flute. You have to charm these serpents. You have to understand how they work. You have to understand why they are like they are. And once you realize that, there'll be no stopping you because the information is what advances you. Speaking less and observing more. There's so much strength in that. Because the universe rarely rewards desperation and enslavement. And most time, enslavement is based on ignorance. And over the years, we've seen that ignorance is what enslaves people. When you start listening or following the flute or the music of the wrong person. And it's usually someone wicked. The predators that lure you in so they can feed off of you. So in that understanding, I sit in the sun. I love the ocean. I love those elements. Because those are the things that really enlighten me to think outside my 3D self so I can see what I'm walking into. Solitude is one of the best, most beautiful things in this entire universe because it gives you space for improvement. So always be slow to trust because loyalty is a rare jewel. Very rare. People that you can trust, you'll find as things get more harsh, you'll find that loyalty and trust is a very rare jewel. And a lot of us only have cubic zirconians. So remember that appearance is the greatest illusion for us in this battlefield. Ancient Mystery School, Saint Germain.